everyone, this is Nehal Shukla from team Adgully, and today with me I have Mr. Ishan Bose of KreditBee. Hello sir.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us at CMO's Charcha.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I had a great time interacting with the panelists, and I was able to learn quite a bit from the perspective that quite a few of my friends from the industry had, and at the same time, I hope I was able to add some valuable insights.
Definitely, I heard your panel and it was quite
Thank
insightful.
you.
Thank you. So sir, can you share your observation on the current state of marketing that is going on?
So, marketing is evolving over time. I think the fundamentals remain the same, but the way in which marketing is happening is definitely evolving over time, specifically with the advent of expansion of internet and digital media as a function of it. The way in which consumers are now interacting with the brands is more digitally driven than offline driven, and hence the role that digital media has to play with respect to the consumer understanding and consumer proposition education has only grown over time. And with that, the brands also have moved more from a performance or from a brand marketing purview to a more performance marketing purview, where not just the education or awareness or recall, but the actual sale is being pushed through digital media with performance marketing. And hence there are a lot of data driven, lot of customized approaches that are being driven through the digital media for different brands, because ultimately with performance marketing, what has happened is there is no one size fits all approach that brands are able to take right now. So they can customize and personalize their marketing campaigns to different cohorts via different channels, and that has led to an overall improvement in the ROI of the marketing bucks that we all put in. What also I see is that in the recent past, there are a lot of buzzwords that keep flying around whenever I attend any such events, whether it's generative AI or martech. So. I personally believe that while these are definitely technologies to be embraced over time, but essentially what is very important is to stay true to the basics and ensure that those are not getting compromised. Because a lot of times what happens is that as marketers we get so enamored by the fancy, flashy things that are being exposed to us as marketers, that we often let go of the fundamentals that it is trying to build on top of and optimize. So while I'm all in for looking at more advanced ways of doing marketing, which is another thing that marketing landscape is evolving with over time, but not to lose touch of the fundamentals that drive consumer success, which is universal and timeless. So yeah, that's what I believe is how marketing is evolving, and yet how it is the same.
Absolutely. And if you were to rate the performance of the market in the H1, how would you rate it? And apart from this, what are the key opportunities and challenges that you have observed in the H1?
So, I think I'll talk specifically on the lending ecosystem. So, for consumer lending, this has been a difficult H1, primarily because of couple of things. One is there was a regulation that came out, which is a good thing for the industry, because as a regulator, it's important for RBI to make sure that as an industry it is safeguarded, and the consumers more than anything are safeguarded within the industry. So because of that, there were a few regulatory circulars that came out in the H2 of the previous year, the impact of which I think purely from a business growth standpoint, was borne by some of the serious lenders in the fintech lending landscape. Not that we don't welcome the changes, but purely from a business standpoint, it was a little difficult to grow at the same pace with those regulations coming in. However, within the constraints of the ecosystem, I think the industry has done fairly well. I think it is stabilizing and consolidating. The serious players are very aware of the fact that this is a time of transition, and they have to stay put. They have to stay consistent, which is very, very key in lending industry more than anything. It's not a flashy industry. It's not a very glamorous industry by the nature of it. We deal with people's money. We give money to people and help them become financially independent. So when we deal with money in and out, we have to be a lot more serious and a lot more mature with the way we behave as an industry. And I must say that the industry is staying put to it. I believe H2 is where things will start opening up and expanding. It is definitely going to be more, even by the nature of the cyclicity of the industry, where H2 has more festivities. There is Diwali and Dashera, and then there is Christmas, and then March happens to be big. So I think H2 is definitely going to be bigger than H1, and even otherwise, I think the industry is now slowly getting used to the reality, the new reality of the lending ecosystem. And I think with that, you can see more growth and more positive movement within the industry.
Absolutely. And the technology has kept evolving and it's ever evolving. There's no stop to it. So, how is KreditBee staying ahead of the curve and adapting to the newer technologies that are coming in?
Right. So, like I mentioned in the first question that you asked, we definitely embrace technology. We believe in innovation. We believe in staying true to the times in which we live. So, any new technology that comes up, we are more than keen to study it, understand it, and then adopt it as per relevance. We don't go into the FOMO mode where we have to use a technology for the sake of it. What I believe any tech enthusiast or any marketer in this case must know is that just because there's a technology out there doesn't mean you have to use it, right? Sometimes some technologies or some methodologies might not be very relevant to you in the moment, right? So while it's good to keep an eye out on what's new, at the same time, just because there's something, you don't have to go and use it. Sometimes it helps you enhance the processes where it is definitely helpful. But there are certain times where it is mostly outcome driven, or it is mostly about adopting it as a part of your proposition. So that is where a discretionary call must be taken on the timing of adoption, because sometimes if you pre-time it, it can also be counterproductive as much as not waiting, or as much as delaying it, right? So that's one. And second, like I mentioned, that just adopting a technology is not going to help. Take for instance coding. Now every organization is coding, right? But the kind of products that are developed, right, the kind of technologies that are developed are very different. So the tools are the same for all, but essentially what matters is how you use it to make things happen for you in a positive way. So while I'm all in for technology, one, the timing of it is very key, the timing of adoption. And two, which is even more important, is not losing touch of the ground reality, not letting go of the fundamentals. As long as you're true to the fundamentals, you know the basics of what you're trying to do. Technology will definitely serve as an enabler over time.
Absolutely. That was all. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.